What is the #1 health necessity for the year ahead? I think that's easy. For both you and me, is getting over 2020 and making 2021 a way better year. I mean, from here to Timbuktu, what we need to do is devise mechanisms really to cope with the aftermath. And we're not even in the aftermath just yet. So let's dive and see how things unroll. When 2020 came about, I thought this will be the best year. We were busy in the office, we had a lot of interesting projects. My company has just turned 10 years old because even though I've been in business for 20 years, we've only incorporated 10 years ago. So 2020 was supposed to be a year of celebration and we were just starting to figure out how to do that when the pandemic hit. And then obviously everything changed. All the plans stopped. We scrambled to work away from the office, which in our case, I have to say, wasn't such a huge deal because we already had a lot of the mechanisms set up online. But priorities have changed, workload differed. A lot of things sort of started to trickle through. Personal lives have really got into a twist. So plans started to be put on hold. At first a little, but as time progressed, more and more. And priorities started to shift towards all those things that really we often take for granted. The family, the friends, the little pleasant moments of break that we have in a day after a hard day's work. All of these things have really taken center stage as the year progressed. And more attention, energy, and well-being was really devoted to that, given what was going on. What did you do with everything that's been happening? How did you make that into something better? For me, the first step is recapping. I will show you how everything that has happened last year, in general and particular to me, has affected the choices that I made and the turns that I took in order to make sure that 2020 is not a wasted year. The moments of crisis are actually a lot more fruitful in terms of us as human species generating new ideas, becoming innovative, and making the most out of our own lives. We've been spending so much time at home that having a home that allows you to be in it pleasantly for such a long time is extremely important. We've all undergone cataclysmic changes. Our whole life got disturbed, all our patterns of living, the most intimate aspects of our lives. Unequivocally, one of the most intimate is the home. Our interaction and cohabitation, our own relationship with homes have changed. Now more than ever, that relationship has to be well-spirited, mindful. It has to provide all the benefits that in the outside world we don't get right now. So the importance of having a home that is truly your home, where you feel relaxed and safe and you want to be in and perform the activities that you want to perform. A home that essentially makes you better. This need has become central this year. And in order to satisfy it, you really have to define for yourself what is it that you actually want. Then you can actually go ahead and do it. Now, with the lack of socializing and even human closeness, comes a worry that those who are lonely, and all of us really as social beings, will get and shift towards being down, fall into some sort of a swirl that is unhealthy. I find that if you are able to restructure your environment there is a lot of potential there to gain energy from it and nourish your body and your mind into coping with situations and with hopefully temporary moments when your life not only that is limited in terms of interaction, but it changed in terms of the possibilities and the habits that you have. So what I've done is, as I continue to design the projects that we have on the go, I wanted to deliberately design rooms that have in them an inherent happiness. And that could mean anything from vibrant colors, extremely carefully designed lighting, an atmosphere that really provides that cocoon and healthy, nourishing feeling that any home should have. We were doing that already, but I think focusing now on the happiness factor that an environment such as your home can bring to you is what I've learned that should happen in any home, because we all want to be happy at home. What you want is you want to feel good, you want to be energized, you want or relaxed, but no matter how you look at it, you want to be happy. You don't want to go home and be unhappy, ever. So if I take that as a theoretical concept, as a model of what to use in designing a home, there are actually very specific tools that you can apply to your house. Having excellent lighting. Light is a huge mood setter. Atmosphere is not made by one central light in the middle of the ceiling. We react to the mood of the room more than to its design. The unspoken value of a well-designed space is that interaction that is built between the space and you as the occupant. That is the value of design. So the other aspect of a house that was, I think, stretched and really used up was the home gym. I don't know about you, but I cannot get myself motivated enough to exercise at home. I do have friends, and I know of so many people that are able to just tune out. I have never been someone to really stick to a schedule that has that kind of rigor. So one thing that I do know that helps, and I tried that, it doesn't necessarily work for me very well, but maybe it works for you. Having an actual designated area in the house where you are going to exercise all the time is fantastic. So if you actually can, make sure you have a good visual. You don't want to be looking at a blank wall. You definitely don't want to look at anything that is chores related. You want to be looking at something that is either invigorating or relaxing, or however you want to call it. You want to, be pleasantly visually stimulated. One tool that we use in design, if I do a gym in a home that doesn't necessarily have a lot of space, or maybe there are not that many windows in the gym because they often get positioned at the basement level, is have a glazed wall toward a seating area. That could be set up as a lounge, it could be set up as a TV room, maybe it's the play area, but this way you have the sense of you being in a much larger space. We also gave up grooming. The lack of grooming was actually quite difficult to cope with from my point of view until I adjusted. Not because it is so disastrous to do your own hair, but because you don't have the same need. I think I have never experienced such a, I don't even know how to call it. I did not care as much as usual about how I look. So bottom line is, my appearance has suffered a lot. I didn't find that I want to dress up or that I want to look as presentable as I normally would, because things were always in a rush. I always had to go and set this up, then I had to rush somewhere else. I didn't care so much about how I looked, also because I didn't have so many meetings anymore with clients and with the contractors and the suppliers. It was a lot of time on my own, navigating through materials and things that I had to see, or me at home or in the office looking somewhat casual doing the work that I do. So I find that why the grooming part was, or the lack of, was hard is a more at the level of mentality, where I was thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna slap a mask on and I'm going to go in and put, you know, sanitizer everywhere, so I can't even wear jewelry because I don't know what the jewelry is going to do if I put too much sanitizer on it. And you end up sort of crumbling a little bit under all this unpleasantness, I find. So one of my resolutions for 2021 is to never look like this again and figure out a way to look snazzy with a mask on and everything. When we have the opportunity to design anything that revolves around that, we've done recently a barber shop, and I have done a spa and salons before that are just so pleasant to work in, because all you think about is how are people going to be more pampered and have a better experience because of how you create the space. By far the hardest, probably the most troublesome impact that the pandemic had is the financial one. On the globe as a whole, on us as individuals, we all have suffered at any level of income. This has impacted. As I'm sure many of you, I experienced it too, and it still reverberates even now. A lot of the projects that we had in the pipeline have stopped. A lot of the ones that I was just about to get and bring into the office got postponed. So there is a lot. I find that everybody's holding off. They're holding off to see what is it that's going to happen next.